Wow, here's another video that has taken me an extraordinarily long time to get into production. Production means this: filming on tabletop, in the bunker, in the warehouse, wherever, and getting it onto an SD card. That's called production. And then after that, post-production is editing the video and getting it out to you. As a reminder, and I mean this, if you like my video product, which is very proven, very trustworthy, become a paying Patreon member. You'll see the full flow of my content in the Patreon Clubhouse. I know I say this a lot, but I have to keep reminding guys of that. I do live chats when I post videos on the A channel and YouTube. There's guys there that act like they've never heard of TMP Patreon. I'm like, dude, what planet are you on? It's been running in Banner obnoxiously, sorry about that, for many years now, promoting this is how you see more of the Nut and Fancy product. Enough said, let's get going on a tabletop ISSA episode. What the hell? I've never done a tabletop ISSA episode yet. I don't remember doing one. That stands for Is It Still Awesome, by the way. I reviewed the Beretta Model 21 Bobcat way early in the project. I might card that video unless YouTube has taken it down. They have been known to do things like that a lot. Go to my Rumble feed, por favor, and I'll post this in Rumble as well. I've been doing that sporadically because the views there suck ass, and really it's not worth my time, but I do it still because I love the guys over there that support me in Rumble. And there, it's a free speech platform. It's been that way for a long time. Who knows what the future holds, whatever. Anyways, go to Rumble. I told you when I posted my original review on the Beretta Model 21 that it was a very formative pistol for me, that it was in my family, has been in the family for quite some time, and I will stick with that. We've owned 21As, Bobcats, since, let me see, is not the mid-80s, probably the late 80s, like 88, 89. We've had them ever since then. And yes, they have been produced for a very long time. 1984 till present. The Model 21A 22 long rifle, and I think the 25 ACP version of the Bobcat as well. I do love the gun. I've loved it for a very long time. And you're looking at one of my key choices, by the way, for bug out kit pistols. I'm not saying it's the most effective 22. I'm not saying it's the most easy to shoot accurately. It is definitely not. What I am saying is that it's small. It's diminutive. It's only 13 ounces, not with that beautiful can there. That's a Sparrow suppressor by Silencer Co. By the way, Cerakoted by Mission Spec Camo in the day. They're long gone. Most people in TMP are long gone. Oh my gosh. Sad, really, but I keep pressing on. Yeah, so it is a BOK choice. It's a great USK choice, Day Hike Survival Kit, USK is Urban Survival Kit, any of that. 22 long rifle is usually my choice. Well, not usually, it's always my choice when I buy a Bobcat. I'll show you the 950 BS here in a minute. But if you want ultra reliability, get the 25 ACP version, says Nut and Fancy. If you can find them. I don't really see a bunch of 25 ACP Bobcats running around. But I went to their website tonight. They're still listing it. I don't know if they batch produce it. Don't know. Now, for this ISSA episode, you may notice that I went with a tactical version of the Bobcat. Suppressor ready, threaded barrel, FDE coloration. It's been in testing for over 1.5 years, by the way. No, I didn't want it that way. I will tell you why it took so long. Trust me. When we talk about philosophy of use, we're going to say, is this a good, how shall I say, communist chipmunk assassination pistol with a can on it? And by the way, you may think I'm just being silly, right? A communist chipmunk. But on the property I shoot on, we have all types of critters that are causing problems, mostly ground squirrels. They will burrow under structures. They will hollow out the structures. Foundations have been known to collapse. They burrow into holding dams for the farmers. And they'll weaken the dam to the extent where the whole thing will break and you'll have, well, hundreds of thousands of gallons of water irrigation water flooding fields. I've seen that happen with my own eyes. It was caused by ground squirrels, and we have other critters there that need to be eliminated. So I'm really being kind of serious. Is it a good pistol to eliminate those critters when you get close enough to do so? Maybe you trap them some way. The answer is absolutely. And if you're keeping score, we're into POU right now. Absolutely, it is perfect for that. Well, let me back off a little bit. Maybe not perfect. Perfect is a 22 Magnum in my experience, because 22 Magnum has a lot more power. It dispatches them readily so they don't suffer. I definitely don't want any of those animals to suffer when I have to take them out. But 22 is much cheaper, and in close contact range, it will get the job done. Carry pistol, backup pistol. Absolutely. I know for a fact there's some of you guys probably watching this video that carry as a backup piece in rule of law. That's where we are now, and we are in low pack. We're not high probability of armed conflict. We're in L pack, thank heavens. That's where I want it to stay. You guys carry this as a backup piece. I've always said in normal rule of law, L pack, I don't recommend to carry a backup piece unless you're a law enforcement officer, but that's just me. I don't do so, but if you want to, rock out. I think, here it comes, you know it was coming, the best carry backup pistol ever, at least in terms of, as you might say, a mouse gun, is the Beretta sister 950 BS to the Bobcat. This is it. 8+1 for a 9-shot total, tip-up barrel, just like the Bobcat. This thing is a machine. Do keep it lubed. If you don't keep it lubed, you can have some stoppages. And this is in a more capable cartridge than 22 long rifle, being centerfire. I know 25 ACP is still a mouse caliber. I get it. Don't expect expansion. Just expect some penetration on your communist chipmunk. But this is a competitive option. They don't make this anymore. It's going to be very expensive. If you have a 950, never sell it. This is just a simple belt slide holster I bought at Walmart. It does work. And once upon a year, I had the Wallet Galco holster. Go look at those videos on this one. So the 950 was reviewed and raved about actually several times here in the project. So carry pistol, yes, Bobcat. I do note that compared to this one, it is a bit chunkier. Forget I have a can on it just for a minute. It doesn't look that chunkier, but it just seems like it's just a little bit fatter than a 950 BS. Incidentally, here's my original manual for my Bobcat, which came with wood grips, 21A, and that is assigned to a BOK. And no, I didn't want to go fish it out for the review. Remember, once it's in there, it stays in there. I wouldn't say I can't do it. I just want to go through the work. So this is late 1980s manual for the same pistol we're looking at here. And you can see I have some notes here because for whatever reason I lost a 4-plate catch one year. It's a great manual, by the way. It talks about takedown, lubrication, problems you'd have. Is the current manual the same? Let's take a look. I don't have it with me. Anyway, so we'll say it's good though. Philosophy of use, home defense, no. Vehicle defense, no. Recreational, absolutely. Especially with a can, very fun to shoot with a suppressor. Oh my gosh, very, very fun to shoot with a suppressor. And that's POU. We got to get going here, especially when I want to talk about props. The slide is about 0.8 inches in thickness. Again, the gun is 13 ounces. It's 1.11 inches overall with the safety catch there. Has a 3.3 millimeter thick barrel on it. And I'm talking about wall thickness here. This is just a direct thread Sparrow. This is how I prefer all my cans going on, by the way. And since this is a blowback 22, we don't have to worry about a Nielsen device or anything there. Look at how thick that barrel is, dudes. And I think I put that high temperature O-ring on there. I don't think it came with it. It really helps a lot. First on features, we have the tip-up barrel, just like we saw in the 950 BS Jetfire. Just like we see in the Browning BDA. Other tip-up barrel designs. I wouldn't say you really need it in this because the retraction force on this direct blowback is very easy, but it's still nice to have. It's still good to train people on this so they can easily check if one is in the chamber. This is kind of a, going back to POU, fun gun, training pistol. It's hard to shoot well. This is a small gun, very diminutive sights. There's no getting around it. I did put some white paint on this one to help give some visibility. I'm not done with it. I'll put white and fluorescent on that. Just give some, you know, some, I don't know, some presence to the sights. They're just milled in. This really isn't, a gun designed to shoot at distance. Even though I will tell you, I've shot my 21s out to 50 yards before, just goofing around, and I actually got kind of good at it in the day. Usually we'd shoot around 20 yards just on steel, bottles, in the gravel pits. This is going back in the 80s and 90s. And then, yeah, we cleaned up our mess too. And cans and stuff. It's hard to do though. It takes a lot of practice. And then when you add a can to it that occludes the sights even more, you're just basically point shooting then. This is Cerakoted again. We have that kind of mustard brown, which is very cool, by the way. We have the plastic grips. Remember, the Model 21As came with wood grips. Here's your magazine release. It's going to be mounted right there because it's a tiny pistol. And yes, it is hot coming out of system, kind of. And I was using it for the very POU I just talked about, and that is dispatching pests. That's why it's hot. No apologies. 7-round magazine plus 1 to 8 total for the 21s. The trigger is 5 pounds, 11 ounces, single action, heavier, double action. You can carry it cocked and locked. We'll double check that. Empty, cocked and locked, condition 1. That's how I carry my Bobcats all the time. It's totally safe to do so. That's a very stiff, easy to operate magazine catch. It's not ambidextrous, and I prefer it that way. Nice big stamped steel blued trigger guard, big enough for your winter gloves. We talked about the tip up barrel. There's your pivot point right here. We do have some serrations here, vertically oriented, just like we see on a lot of Beretta products. I didn't show you inside the magazine well. No funneling whatsoever. Don't care. Aluminum frame, of course. Forged steel barrel, forged steel slide. Most of them are going to have ferritic nitrocarburizing on them. This does come in a stainless steel Inox version, and of course a blued version as well. I talked about the calibers already. Drawbar trigger, just like we see on a 92 FS. And then you want to tighten these down. These will come loose on you unless you put some blue Loctite in there. I have not done it with this. How did it shoot? Okay, well, the plot thickens here, boys. How it shot initially. This is an IS episode, right? So you think it's going to be a rave review. Not so much. It had all kinds of problems out the gate. With a can, without a can, all kinds of problems. I was very disappointed with this, and I'm talking even with good ammunition like CCI. So CCI is kind of the go-to ammunition, right? If it works with CCI, then the gun has some redemption. If not, then you're like, okay. I was deciding, do I send this back? What do I do? I ended up sending it back to Beretta. Kudos to them. They got it back very quickly. And I will say, after they went through it, and I was trying to find the work order, I don't know where it went. I don't know what they did. They probably polished everything out. After it came back, it was mostly 100%. Mostly. It is a 22 long rifle. We need to expect there will be some jams, even with some high impulse 22 loadings. I don't expect perfection with a 22. Like I said, if you want absolute reliability, go with centerfire 25 ACP. Or go with a 380 product. Here's a P3AT. Even better, even more capability. About as small, by the way. About as lightweight, not the ammo. Yeah, so it shot much better after service, and then my faith was restored again into the Beretta Bobcat Model 21A. Get this though. Everyone gives so much heat to Taurus, to Keltec, sometimes to some other companies for having a gun that will choke out of box. Here we have a Beretta product. Beretta, right? And I think this is made in Maryland, Aquakeek factory, although it's stamped differently now. It's stamped with Gallatin, Tennessee. Maybe, I don't know if they're making it there. But it's a Beretta product that had to go back for service, okay? It's a lifetime warranty. They did great. Again, like all these Beretta, especially the small ones, make sure they're lubed. I think most of you guys would love this, and it's probably going to be more reliable for you out of box, is my guess. A reason I say that, because I've shot a lot of 21s to include, I have 3 of these. This is my 3rd now. The other ones are assigned to kits. Those are mostly reliable. I said that in my initial review. Go watch all the shooting. I might overlay a little bit of that, and then again, I might not. Yeah, is it recommended? Absolutely. How many pocket pistols do you have with a threaded barrel that can function as a communist chipmunk assassination pistol? It's pretty damn cool if you ask me. And again, shooting with a can is just a riot. And did it add more reliability with a can? I don't have empirical data for that, but my gut feeling is yes. Anytime you put a suppressor on it, it's going to have more blowback to the action. It seemed like it was better. I didn't have a problem hitting with it either. Do I have paper to show you? No, I don't, but I'm sure in overlay I'll show you how the accuracy went with the Bobcat. So is it awesome? Yes, with an asterisk. With an asterisk. The asterisk is it may have reliability problems out. You may have to send it back. But cool colorations available. Still not an inexpensive option. There are some cheaper 22 pocket pistols out there. They won't have the quality of this one. They won't have the resale value of this. I didn't mention that because if you get tired of your Model 21, you'll basically be able to sell it what you paid for it, especially in a cool coloration like this. If it's not abused and it doesn't show a lot of wear, I think guys would love to buy it from you. I really do. It has a very good reputation amongst gun guys in the community. I know a lot of dudes that are super into guns and they have at least one 21A. Probably several, and they use them as, and I forgot to mention this in POU, LBE guns to tuck it away into a magazine pocket. I know law enforcement officers along with this and any number of like 380s, like the original LCP2 in a Kuziak. Oh, sorry, this is a North American Arms holster, and there's the LCP2, not a Max. So they'll carry this. They'll carry a 950. I'm talking cops. They'll carry this in like an ankle holster. This, a Model 21. Maybe now the Bodyguard. The Bodyguard, I just reviewed that. Go watch that review. That's a fantastic gun. And we're done with the gun review. It is highly recommended. I have a soft spot for Beretta. No apologies. They are just a fantastic product. I'm getting ready to review this. This is also a great pocket pistol option, albeit this is much easier to reload, faster firing, higher firepower. This is a Sidewinder. 22 Magnum and 22 long rifle cylinders are included from North American Arms. They have outstanding quality, as you know. I've been running Pugs forever, and this is the 22 mag cylinder. Look how easy, well, relatively speaking, easy that is to reload, and you can eject the rounds, albeit they don't come flying out. By the way, which of these two would I want as a backup pistol? Not with a can, we're taking the cans off. And by the way, the thread protectors right here, label it so you don't lose it. I would take a Model 21. I just love it. The rapid firing capability, the ease of load, get some extra magazines for it. You'll just love it. Yeah, so that's one of the props. Also, for the first time, the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2 in pink. Have I run a Huracan on the track? I ran so many supercars down in Vegas, I lose track. I think I have ran a Huracan. It was awesome. It's fun, high personality. No, I would not want to drive one daily. The visibility out the back is absolutely atrocious. I think they have kind of a douchey reputation, no offense intended. Like if you're driving around a Lamborghini, and you may be a totally cool dude, but most people perceive you as a complete asshole. I'm just saying. And no, I would not drive around in this daily. Not for that reason. It's just not my jam. They're too low slung, difficult to get in and out of. No thank you. I'd rather drive a Vet or a GT500 all day long. We have the Bradley in 1/64 scale. This is one of the first props in the show. Awesome. And then the Viper. Whoa, bro. 1/43 scale. This is a very inexpensive model in the show. Would I drive a Viper around? Absolutely. Like between these two cars, I'd take a Viper all day long. Like an original Viper. Oh, high personality. And yeah, daddy can drive it. This is a new knife in the project. This is called the Syncut Citus in D2 steel. It is absolutely fantastic. 3.1 ounces, 3.4 inch cutting length. It's just super elegant flipper design. We have purple G10 right there. Oh my gosh, the price is right at just $45. If they're still around, I will totally put a link to this to Pro 2A Blade HQ. I just love this knife. It is fantastic. Not Syncut steel, that's the brand, so don't get fooled by that. And look at that beautiful color. And we're done, boys. I'll see you in the Patreon Clubhouse. I do the best I can in getting back to messages, but again, it's so much that I do. Just keeping this product going is like every ounce of energy and TNR that I can manage. But thank you for your support. I really value and appreciate it, and I appreciate your friendship over the years. As I've said, the best days of TMP are still happening. This is case in point. It's an episode, Model 21A Bobcat. Yes, it is still awesome with an asterisk. See ya.